Part 3, we spoke of distribution and the phases within. In this video, we explore the importance of volume and the value it provides within our methodology. Part of our edge is exploiting the supply-demand imbalance, and volume is the key. These important concepts are thoroughly dissected and broken down into bite-sized pieces. And if you enjoy the video, don't forget to give us a like, subscribe, hit our notification bell to stay updated on our latest videos. Please take a read here through the disclaimer and the copyright. And for today, our agenda, we will have a little introduction, and then we'll speak of Richard Wyckoff himself, and a little into the history of tape reading. And then we'll discuss volume and exactly what is volume. And then we'll have a conceptual study to help further your understanding of volume. And then we have a quote from Wyckoff himself that is applicable to volume. And then we'll speak of the 3 Wyckoffian laws: the law of supply and demand, the law of cause and effect, with 2 case studies that will help us again further cement the law of cause and effect into the law of effort versus result, again with 2 case studies. We'll have another Wyckoff extraction, a good quote here, with our interpretation. And one last extraction from Wyckoff, and we'll apply this knowledge to 2 case studies. And then we'll end with some final words. Before we begin, I think that we should discuss Wyckoff himself, as his accomplishments speak directly to the validity of his methods. Richard Wyckoff is considered one of the titans of technical analysis, along with Gann, Elliott and Dow. And he started off early as a young man, a teenager, rose through the ranks to eventually owning his own brokerage firm. And for 20 years, he wrote and edited the magazine of Wall Street, and I think this had a little over 200,000 subscribers at one point. And he also studied the legendary traders at the time, Jesse Livermore, JP Morgan, etc. And he paid a great deal of attention to the details, and he turned these observations into laws, into principles and techniques, and thus created his body of works. Personally, his greatest work is from his book, Studies in Tape Reading, written under the penship or pseudonym Rollo Tape. And this is a very important book that certainly ignited my interest and passion for trading, as it helped me discover my role within the market. It helped me discover my edge, essentially by exploiting the supply-demand imbalance. Now, Wyckoff was not only an educator, he was an extremely successful trader. He owned a large house with over 100 acres or so, and I think he lived next door to the owner of GE, General Electric. Towards the end of his life, he created a business to teach others known as the Wyckoff Stock Market Institute. Now, what's fascinating for me is that these techniques are over 100 years old and still relevant, even more so in today's modern markets due to the liquidity. How one uses the techniques is where the art of the craft lies. There are many different ways to interpret and use Wyckoff effectively within the market. Dozens of ways. Wyckoff has provided the foundation of core technical knowledge that has produced and will continue to produce new ways of analysing the market. He has therefore provided a sound, fertile soil that will germinate any seed. How and what the seed grows into is down to you, your interpretation. It's truly remarkable. He has laid out the plans for us future traders. In the previous video, we discussed that the foundations behind our methodology are deeply rooted within Wyckoff, and we went through the price cycle: accumulation, mark up, distribution, mark down, and the finer details within the accumulation and distribution schematics, although still to a basic level. Then the bomb dropped. We do not trade with the Wyckoffan schematics at Acme Trades due to the nature of ambiguity that can present itself by trading in this manner. Part 2, within this video, we will present a fresh, more dynamic approach to trading the markets using a branch of Wyckoff known as tape reading. This is the trading we undertake, specialize, and teach at Acme Trades. Let's begin your journey into a modern interpretation of Wyckoff. First question, I'm sure that is on your minds: what is tape reading? So let's have a quick history lesson here. Tape reading of old, from the 1860s or so, was a technique that traders used to analyze the price and volume of a stock. The data, the stock price and volume, were transmitted over cables, specifically telegraph cables, to a ticker tape. And this would print off reels and reels of data. Literally, one could watch the ticker tape for hours with only price and volume and the ticker, which of course is still relevant. For example, AAPL is the ticker for Apple. MSFT is the ticker for Microsoft. AMZN is the ticker for Amazon, and so on. What's of value or of great importance to me is that highly skilled traders could watch the tape and trade merely by using price and volume. Fast forward 150 years, we have technology, electronics, PCs and charting software. And for the purists out there, one could use level 2 order book and or time and sales and as interpretation of the tape, price and volume, and you would be correct. However, one could also utilize bars and volume via the chart. After all, it's a representation of the tape in a visual format. This is the modern era of tape reading I am referring to. Simply put, bar analysis with the integration of volume. Price is represented by a bar on the chart, nothing more to it. So what is volume? What is its significance? Well, volume in its most basic form is activity. It represents all the buyers and sellers within an individual bar. Example, we can have an up bar here with 100 shares. We can have an up bar here with 200 shares. The second bar has more activity due to the volume having twice the amount of shares, 100 as opposed to 200. But we can dissect the volume or look into the volume a little further. Our first bar, although up, or if it's a candlestick green, the volume containing 100 shares here does not mean that the bar had 100 buyers, as in 40% of the volume within this bar, the activity could be sellers, but overall buyers won the bar. Think about this with complete logic. So we have, again, bar A here, and this has 100,000 shares. And it closes firm and creates a spread, which is the high to the low of the bar. And this has a price movement, a gain of $1. So 100,000 shares. This is the height from the low to the high, and it closes firm. And it makes a price advancement of $1 within the market. Now we come to bar B over here. This is also an up bar. This has the volume of 300,000 shares. It closes firm and creates exactly the same spread as bar A from high to low. So it's the same size. Also with a gain of $1. Think logically about this. Bar 3 here has 3 times the amount of volume, which is activity, yet the gain to the upside is exactly the same. But surely with 3 times the volume, we should print a bar 3 times the spread as of the size of A with 100,000. But this is not the case. The spread of the bar is the same with A and B, even though we have 3 times the amount of volume. The only force that could prevent bar B here with higher volume producing a wider spread is that of selling. Sellers are present. We know this for sure. There are only 2 forces at work within any bar. They are the forces of buying and selling, supply and demand. So as a tape reader, one can deduce that the force of selling within bar B is apparent. How we as modern tape readers use this information is very much context dependent, and we will explore some uses today. But again, please bear in mind that this is a basic introduction to tape reading, or what I like to refer to as the secret language of bars and volume. To help cement the newfound knowledge, we have constructed a free interactive workbook full of the charts found within the course. Go to our website www.acmetrades.com and explore this resource. That's all, folks. Thank you for listening to this video. I hope you found it informative and extracted value. Don't forget to give us a like, subscribe, hit our notification bell to stay updated on our latest videos. We value your feedback and suggestions, so please leave a comment below and let us know a topic you would like us to cover in future videos.